All right, and we are live on Facebook and we are live on Zoom. I believe that there is a Zoom connection on the Facebook already. So if you are live, would you go ahead and just make a comment on Facebook? And I'm going to go ahead and share the video a couple of places. And if you feel like sharing, go ahead. And give us just a minute to get that shared out. Oops, that won't work, but that will. One. And two, I know that there's several people who are usually with us tonight that are not available because of things like Oscars and putting kids to bed and what did you say, Walking Dead? You know, there are some priorities that some people. All right, Steve, awesome, liked it. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shift back over to here. Oh, hey, Erin, great to see you. Dagmar, I see Dagmar's here. Kate, hey, Katie, nice to see you. So we are, let me start over. Hello, everybody. I'm Eliza Bloom Robinson, and this is the Center for Divine Awakening's weekly Inspirational Insight. Center for Divine Awakening is a next generation non-church spiritual community, a ministry without walls, basically. And one of the things that we do each week is join together on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Now, I actually am quite aware that I am on Mountain Time in Arizona, and next week I think the time changes. So I think we'll still be, I don't know what it will be. So we'll ask the regulars here in our community conversation if this time works, and if so, then I think I become Pacific time. But we'll work that out this week and make sure everybody knows. The other thing that we do, or another thing that we do at the Center for Divine Awakening, is we follow up the weekly Inspirational Insight with a community conversation. So there's usually a small group of us together on the Zoom page. So there's a Zoom link there in the description of the live. So we'll be here for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll be together over there for about another 15 or 20, depending on the conversation and depending on where we go. But that is our opportunity to connect. This is our opportunity to hopefully reach a broader audience. And then the community conversation is our opportunity to connect heart to heart and soul to soul and voice to voice and vision to vision, so that we're actually building community and exploring the ideas that are presented. And so I need to do one more thing over here. I've got a couple of pages open, and so I have to look around. Hold on, I'm almost ready. I'm so almost ready. There we go. All right, so tonight I decided to, based on a request actually from one of our members, explore this concept of how our awakening impacts the electromagnetics of the planet, and also how the electromagnetics are even adjusting the poles of the planets, making both subtle and also quantum leaps and shifts in the poles and the magnetics of the planet, and how that is impacting awakening. So a couple of things that I want to just dive into. One is that awakening, soul awakening, spiritual awakening is my purpose and my passion and my gift, really, to bring forth on the planet. And it is in my heart and in my soul. I stand for a world awakening, and I know that the world awakens one heart, one soul, one mind at a time. So the awakening that we are doing, the awakening that we are in the midst of, is individual and collective. What I mean by awakening is that we come to know the truth of who we are. I'm talking individually first, because it happens individually. We come to know the truth of who we are. We awaken to the depth of the truth of our being. We can call it essence, we can call it our priestess or our priest, we can call it our higher self, we can call it our divinity, we can call it our Christ self, we can call it any number of things. And as we awaken to that within us, it might take a variety of shapes or forms, but ultimately it becomes the same thing. It becomes beyond words, and it becomes, it's not that it actually even becomes, but we realize, let's say it that way, it is revealed to us as we awaken to this truth that is within us, that we are one being, that we are one humanity, that we are all spirit, embodied, individualized in this physical body. Just notice that, oh yeah, we're good. And so the awakening can take any of a number of different paths. It can come through an instant, it can come through a moment, it can come through an experience, a mystical experience. And even if it comes that way, it starts a journey, because awakening is not only a moment in time, not only a destination, and even more so than that, it is a journey. It's a journey to come to know ourselves as truth, as love, as light. It's a journey of releasing, of surrendering that which no longer serves us. That which no longer serves us is, excuse me, our sense of unworthiness, our sense of not good enough, our sense of not lovable, our sense of I can never do it, or I can't do it, or I won't do it, or whatever, all that noise that many of us have had since we were very young on this planet. It is a process of surrendering, of dismantling all of those things in order to come into the realization that you are perfect, that you are love, that you are whole, that there is nothing wrong with you, there is everything right with you. And in that then comes a realization of the impulse of creation that is within you. All of that, as we do it individually, changes our perspective on the planet. It changes. We're in a quantum leap, we're on a cusp of a quantum leap that will move us as a humanity from the sense of experiencing separation, where we can have the violence and disparity and feel less than and feel unworthy and unloved and all of that, from that place where we lived for millennia into a world awakening, a world that works for all people, a world that comes, solutions come from grassroots, solutions come in a way that works for all, in a way that's a win-win-win. I know in my bones that we are in the midst of this. I know in every cell of my being that we are in the midst of this. So a couple of things came into my awareness this week, and one of them is an article, and I will post the article somewhere, probably in a comment below the live once we're done. And the article was talking about the pole shifts, the electromagnetics and the physical body. And Becky actually posted it and turned me on to it, and I read the article. I'm like, oh, this is so right on. This is so exactly what's going on. So that's one of the things that came. Another thing that was floating through Facebook several times this week was a video, not an animation, but of the universe, and it was absolutely brilliant, and it just took us out and out and out and out. And I shared that on my page earlier today, so you can go find it there. I'll post the link also in the comments a little bit later tonight when I find that again. But that video, the article made me go, oh, yes, this is exactly what's happening. And the video reminded me of an experience that I had when I was doing my initiation work, when I was doing my deep dive work in Joshua Tree, California, that was between, well, really started in 2010 and went beyond. I don't know exactly, when that was, but one of the experiences that I had there in that body of work was to go so deep I'm going to just go back into the experience because I think you'll get it a little bit more. To go so deep into my being that I reached a portal. It was like the funnel deep, you know, down, 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 to reach a point in the depths of my being, not my body, but the depths of my being, where I touched the spiral of creation, as Barbara Marx Hubbard talks about, where I touched a portal and then went through that portal. And as I went through that portal, I was taken out into the universe, out beyond our planet, out beyond our solar system, out beyond our Milky Way, out beyond the universe as we know it. And I was shown, and I experienced such a profound sense of infinity, such a profound sense of creation, that it changed me at depth. And I had several experiences around that over, you know, maybe a couple of years, I don't know. Anyway, but it changed me. And so when I watched this video, it was like body memory for me. It was more than body memory. It was soul memory. And it causes me, I think I put in my post earlier today, it is so mind-boggling, mind-blowing, heart expansive, soul expansive it was for me, that it just kind of woof, just took me out of everything that's going on in my personal world. It took me out of everything that's going on in our country right now. It took me out of everything that's going on in this world, because what I realize is all of it, even though it's so important and so vital and so big, it's not. There is something so much bigger going on here. So the third thing that's been up for me as I've been reading this new book, and it's related to Archangel Michael, and the sort of the premise of the book is that we are light workers, and what I know to be true is that anybody who's watching this is a light worker, whether you know it or not. Anybody who's picking up Mary's book is a light worker, whether you know it or not, because you wouldn't if you weren't, if that makes sense. You wouldn't if you weren't. And one of the premises that I know, again, just know to be true, not because I read it, but because it resonated so deeply, is that we aren't seeing more darkness. But let me say that again. We are seeing more darkness, not because there is more darkness on the planet, but because we are getting so much more light. And so much more light actually reveals more darkness, if we can say darkness and light. But the truth is, the light is getting so much bigger that we're just seeing, like if you imagine turning on a light in a dark room, if you turn on just a little night light, you can see a little bit, right? You turn on a candle, you can see a little bit more. You turn on a lantern, you can see a little bit more. You turn on a lamp, like I have right here, you see more. You turn on a fluorescence, and you see all the cobwebs, right? You see all the dust. You see all the dirt in the corners. You see the stuff down on the baseboards. Well, if you had stuff down on your baseboards, but I'm not saying I have stuff down on my baseboards. Maybe a little dust, but you get what I'm saying, right? And so it shifted again for me. It's like I am moving into a place again, for the first time again, that I'm going to start really leaning into this truth, because I know it to be true. That every time we see another crazy, every time we see another chaos, I don't want to go to the violence because that's a whole other conversation. But every time we see an outcome of that, like we see with all this uprising from our last Florida, I don't know if it was our last book, from the Florida shooting a couple of weeks ago, it's like we're seeing this uprising, and that is the power of awakening, and that is what we're here to do. So going full circle now, gone all the way around. So in this article about the poles, I'm not going to read the article, and I'm not even going to try to surmise the article, but what I am going to say is my take on what the article triggered in me. That keeps me really safe, you know, because then you can't say that's not what the article says. But here's what it says. It says that there are the Earth's magnetic and our crystalline core is made up of many, many things, and that at certain points in time, like at the cusp of a quantum leap, we're going to get magnetic pole shifts. Because right on alignment with the video that we're going to look at, or that I posted about earlier, like we are growing, we are expanding in consciousness, we are expanding in light, and of course, we're impacting the Earth. Our electromagnetics is impacting the Earth, just as the Earth's electromagnetic is impacting us. I talk a lot about, I don't know if I talk a lot about, but I have over the years talked a lot about the awakening process. At least for me, it felt like in different moments that my DNA was being restrung. Like everything was like, and I would be different than I was a moment ago. I think it's the same thing with this electromagnetic and with the poles shifting. We have our North Pole, South Pole, we have all the grids all around, and it's like, as we are expanding in consciousness, as we are bringing more light to the planet, that has to shift. And as that shifts, it opens up pathways for more light, for more love, for more awareness, more higher frequency, if you will. We are vibrational beings, and we vibrate at a certain frequency. As we awaken, our vibration, our frequency rises. As our frequency rises, we become more light beings. We become more filled with light and less dense. Like our density begins to dissipate, and we become lighter in every sense of the word, like light versus dense, and light versus heavy, and light versus dark. And that ultimately, coming full circle, is the awakening process. So every single time that we can align ourselves to that which is greater than us, align ourselves energetically and vibrationally, as well as mentally and emotionally, align ourselves to something that is greater than us, whether it's love or light or the electromagnetic pole shifting or the universe expanding or whatever it is. Can you feel it? Every time we like, our light gets brighter. Our presence gets bigger. And so it seems like we keep doing variations of this, but let's do it. I swear I did this already this week, so I'm either having really big deja vu or I'm repeating myself. Am I repeating myself? Okay, so we've already talked about, oh yeah. That's right. Becky's giving me some signals of it was in a live a couple of days ago that I did a really similar thing. So let's not repeat that, but let's do something different. But let's do the same. I know I'm talking in circles because we're bypassing your mind and we're coming into alignment. So let's feel what it feels like to be dense. Don't take that personal, right? I'm just cracking myself up. But when we're dense, like I've been not the healthiest I've ever been in my life. Recently, the last couple of weeks, I've been actually really struggling with my health, and I have felt extremely dense. I have felt dense and heavy and dense with fever and dense with flu bug and dense like can't even think, like reading you know, just basic novels because that's all I can get my head around. I just feel dense in every sense of the word. I'm going to say this for Steve so you can support me in breaking this. I got like re-addicted to sugar. I'm like eating bad. I didn't want to eat. And it's like, it's just like everything that I was like so on top of a few weeks ago just sort of crumbled in my density. Now I know how to get back, right? Well, with Steve's coaching, I know how to get back. But the last couple of days, I'm like, oh, I'm back. Oh, I'm back. And this morning I woke up and I'm like, there was a piece that I've been struggling with, and it's around my business, but it's a piece I've been struggling with. I'm bumping up against this. I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't get it. I'm just dense. And this morning I've been dreaming about it. I've been not sleeping with it every night. I'm kind of sleeping, but I wake up with it in the middle of the night. It's like, what in the world is going on? And I landed in it this morning. I'm like, I came back into alignment with my higher purpose, right? I'd gotten off my higher purpose in survival mode. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens. I got back in my purpose, and I don't know if my mind changed first or my vibration changed first or my intention changed first, because it all sort of spirals together. So feel that density. Oh, God. It's so easy. It's kind of in the evening now. I'm pretty tired today. It's easy to go dense. Look at me. Oh, geez Louise. I could live in this place, except I can't. Choose it, notice it, and then just simply let your body rise up energetically, vibrationally into a place of alignment. You don't even have to know how to do it. Just do it. And for me, and I've been doing this a long time, as soon as I make that choice, it's not that I physically change my body. It's that I make a choice to raise my vibration, to come into alignment with a greater truth, a greater presence, that my body then lifts. And all of a sudden, I don't have, can you feel it? Can you sense it? Like the density just disappeared. Now I can go back, but I don't have to. And this is the trick. This is one key to living an awakened life. It's not that we don't ever go back into density, because we will, but it's that we know. We have tools, we have techniques, we have community that reminds us, oh yeah, let me come back. So if you're still watching live, if you're still with us on Zoom or on Facebook, post a comment about do you feel the difference? Can you feel it in you? Post any comment at all, because that helps us know that you were here. I can't see with all the different machines going on. I can't see who's here and who's not here, but I can feel you. And so when we look at, I didn't end up talking too much about the electromagnetic poles, but feel like, oh, I wish I had my magnets. Okay, back to electromagnetics. Back to that. Electromagnetically can be like a magnet. When we are fighting the magnet at the opposite ends where they don't go together, right? Just turn the magnet. Boom. When we feel the density of our world, of our experience, of whatever's going on, notice that you have a choice. And you have the power, you have the tool to make it like a magnet. Shift your magnet. Feel your magnetic connection to the ground. It's another tool that I do often. Feel your feet connected to the ground. And feel your vibration magnetically connecting to a higher vibration. Like disconnect. It's like, yeah, normal. Connect. Boom. Oh, there I am. Oh, there I am. Oh, there I am. Do that as often as you can. Do it every single day. Do it before you go to bed at night, before you're out of bed in the morning, or at least before you're out of the house. Do it at lunchtime. Do it, set the timer on your watch. Do it every hour. It won't won't take long, but it will take practice. And the more we practice, the more we awaken. And the more we awaken, the easier it is to practice. And the easier it is to practice, the easier it is to stand, to remember, to come back to this place, no matter what's going on in your life or in your world. I'm going to wrap up the Facebook Live one a little bit long tonight. Guess I got on a roll. I'm going to wrap up the Facebook Live. If you are still with us on Facebook, go ahead and click on the Zoom link, and we would love to have you come on over and join us. Hey, I see a couple people. Oh, I see quite a few, but I can't see who all. If you are still on live, I invite you to come into our community conversation. And I would love to know, just post a hi and a hello and where you're tuning in from, whether you're on the recording or live. So I'm Eliza Bloom Robinson, Transformational Catalyst. This is the Center for Divine Awakening, weekly inspirational insight, followed by community conversation. If this topic is of interest to you, if this is resonating with you, consider coming to the event we've got in Sedona next month. It will be so much about the electromagnetics, about moving in and being in that space, that deeper, wider, more presence, essence. And so I'm going to stop the live. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Go ahead and click that link. Come on over and join us in Zoom, and we'll see you there in a few minutes.